Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday, the 18th. I tried to post one of these yesterday. I'm not sure why the audio didn't work. Went into my computer, clicked a couple buttons. I really don't know what I did, but I fixed it. Anyway, I like to think that events like these are opportunities for learning and growth. So, what did we learn from this? We've learned to always do an audio-visual quality check before you post your video to YouTube. At any rate, I hope you're all doing well. I'll post these weekly updates, probably the beginning of every week during the semester. And these are just for this course, this week, this time. A couple things to talk about. Looking at your introductions, really fascinating. One of the things I enjoy most about teaching these classes is I get students from so many different academic areas and so many different backgrounds. And those different perspectives, views, life experiences really make the classroom an enriching place, experience. Uh, Speaking about discussions, somebody asked if I have guiding questions for each week. I try and avoid doing those. I really don't want to limit your thinking. There's a reason I do that, by the way. I've been exposed to this material for, oh, good grief, it's got to be 30 years. So it's kind of lost its newness for me. And one of the things I really enjoy, and I think especially important, is to connect with that sense of newness that you have. So I would much rather you share what you're learning or questions that you have, because this material is, um, it's new to you. And no matter how I try, I can never recover that sense of newness, novelty. You have a lot of freedom how you use the discussions. If you find there's one thing in particular you want to talk about that really resonates with you, uh, you can do that. You can talk about the readings or the topic in a whole. You may find something that we've read for that week that you've experienced in real life that surprised you, because a lot of what we talk about in these textbooks really are out there. We just have to get our mind accustomed to thinking that way. But as long as it has to do with the readings and or the given topic for a week. Also, you can talk about, you're certainly welcome, and I encourage you actually to talk about how something you read that week is helping you or making you think about your case study. It's a lot of freedom. Now, when I post the grades for discussion every week, I'm not sure how you see them sometimes. I enter a letter grade, and sometimes Blackboard translates that into a number grade. I'm not sure why that is. But for me, it's a 0 to 5.0, A meaning 5.0, full credit. For some reason in Blackboard, A translates into a 4.9 something or other. I'm not sure why it does that. It seems to make sense that A would be full credit, not almost full credit. But just so you know, if you see that 4.9 something other than a letter grade in my record book here, I record that as a 5.0 as full credit. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. But to me, an A means 5.0 full credit. It shows up on Blackboard differently. I don't know why, but in my grade book, which is the one I refer to, A is 5.0 full credit. Talking about the case study, please go to the learning module about the case study as soon as possible. There's a lot of information in there, especially how to write qualitative research questions, because the way we write qualitative research questions are very different from quantitative. Pay particular attention also to data collection methods and data sources, because those are two different things. And oftentimes people will submit their proposal on week 3 and they get them completely confused, which tells me they didn't go to the learning module. So please go to that learning module. You'll also find a sample paper there. Someone asked me recently if I could put up a sample proposal that you would submit in week 3. I'll try and get to that in the next couple days. Certainly by Friday I'll have that, and I'll send you an email, let you know when that's up. Proposal is very brief, double spaced, not very long. Really, it's just to give a sense of what you want to look at and how you want to go about doing it. I will give you feedback for that in a few days after that, so you have some direction. So you have some feedback over the course. You get formative rather than just summative feedback. Trying to think of anything else I wanted to cover while I'm here. Writing. Qualitative research is, you probably noticed, very writing intensive. And because we're talking about things that are sometimes subjective in nature, it can be very easy for the reader to misinterpret it or interpret it in a way that we didn't mean when we wrote it. You want to be really clear and precise in your use of language. I try and tell people, write it as if you were writing it for a first-year master's student who doesn't know anything about your topic or about qualitative research. Explain everything in a lot of clarity, depth, and detail. So 2 people from 2 completely different backgrounds will still know what you're talking about. I don't know if I've told this story before. Some of you may have heard it, or maybe in another video accompanying this class. I'm always reminded of a episode years and years ago. When I first started working here in 1999, I was 33 years old. I had a lot more hair than I do, and I could very easily be mistaken for a grad student. At the time, the College of Education was located in the admin building near the circle. We were on part of the first floor, most of the second floor, and I think about all of the third floor. I didn't have a printer in my office. I was on the third floor, so to print something, I'd go across and have it printed at in the grad lab. It was a day I wasn't teaching, and I don't think I was wearing a coat and tie. I probably would have blended in with the students pretty easily. And waiting for something to get printed. And there were 2 guys in there, both of them grad students. One of them was, well, you ever see those big, bald guys that look like you don't want to mess with? That was one of them. The other one was a different student. We'll call him Burger Boy. I'll explain why. So at one point, I'm just like a fly on the wall. Burger Boy looks over at the other big, bald guy and asks him a question. This is what he says. Are you in counseling? Now, he didn't say, are you in the counselor education program? Are you in counseling? To which big, bald guy turned to him and said very indignantly, why do I look like I need counseling? Precise use of language. Reason we call that guy Burger Boy, he was a student in one program, and he had an excellent advisor. Unfortunately, my advisor is not here, retired since. But his advisor would really, really push students to think about where they want to go in their career paths. So they would tailor the coursework in the PhD, because there's more freedom in the PhD programs, to provide them with the skills they need to be successful. And it was Burger Boy's first day here. He'd gotten his master's degree somewhere else. He was talking with his advisor. The advisor asked, where do you see yourself in 10 years? So we can develop a plan of studies for you. And his response was, well, I don't know. I'm not even sure if I'll stick with this grad school thing. I'll do it for now because it beats flipping burgers. Not really the kind of motive we want people to have to be here. But for that point, For that reason, he was thereafter always known as Burger Boy. So don't be Burger Boy. All right. If you have any questions about anything, uh, call, email, um, whatever works for you. I can meet any way you want. Phone, email, Zoom. My preferred method is face to face over coffee over at Starbucks. I like to get out of the office and I like the informality of it all. It's more casual, especially if we're talking about things that questions you have that we can only resolve through a conversation. So, my office hours, Monday, Wednesday, 12 to 3. If you're going to come by, please call first because I'm on a lot of committees, a lot of dissertation committees. And it's very often those will overlap with my office hours. Um, and if those hours don't work, um, let me know. I'll be glad to be on campus, and I'm sure we can find something, some time or format that works Monday through Friday. But if you have a question about something, please let me know as soon as possible. Let me know right away. It's better than waiting till the end of the semester when not enough time to fix it or do anything about it. So please be proactive and contact me. And don't think you're imposing on me. I've been teaching online pretty much for the last 10 years. I miss being in the classroom. I miss the contact with students. So you are not imposing on me at all by asking for a time to visit and talk about a question you have. All right, I'll be posting these once a week, beginning of the week, talk a little bit about the discussion from last week, a little bit about what we're going that week, next week, and just other things that come up. But I'll try to do these once a week, usually at the beginning of the week. You know where to reach me. I hope you'll all be in touch and looking forward to the semester. Bye for now.